Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adrian Miller, Executive Director of the Colorado Council of Churches, and welcome to our December Lunch and Learn, where you're going to find out about the Hungree app. I found out about this a couple months ago, and after seeing a demonstration of this free mobile phone app, I just thought this would be amazing for faith communities, for what they do with food bank ministries, their concerns with food insecurity. I think this is a very novel and interesting way to address food waste, and I'll let our presenters tell you much more about that. If you're not familiar with the Colorado Council of Churches, we are a coming together of 13 Christian denominations representing over 600 churches across Colorado. Our mission is walking together in faith and working together for justice. And one of our public policy priorities has been on poverty and food insecurity and those issues. So I'm very happy to present this opportunity to you. This is going to be interactive lunch and learn. So in the group chat, there is a link to the Hungry app. So pull out your mobile phones, and if you would download this free, again, it's a free app. If you would download the app toward after the presentation, you will go through it with the presenters, and I think it will help address questions you have in terms of functionality and other things. For those who, you should know that this will be recorded and put it on the Council of Churches YouTube channel. So after you see this amazing mobile phone app, please tell other people about it and direct them to watch the video and find out more. All right, with that, I will turn it over to our presenters. So, gentlemen, you have the floor.
Thank you very, very much. My name is John Ekenboyoa, and I am the founder of the Hungree app, this mobile platform that allows humans to share, essentially. And with me here on our team is Peter Adeyeye, who is running policy and partnerships with us, as well as Dr. Tegwo, running public health initiatives with the Hungree app and mental health initiatives as well. I'd like to have them introduce themselves a little bit and give a little bit of background and circle back to me so I can show you exactly what we've created for humanity.
Thank you so much, Jay, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter Adeyeye. I'm originally from Nigeria, and I've been in Colorado for about 4 years now. I work with the HungreeApp doing policy and partnership work, as John had said. I got my master's degree in public policy, and for my research, I did work on food insecurity. And so when I came with across HungreeApp, it was just a natural chemistry, natural connection. And so I'm just really grateful to be on the team.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Dr. Tigo Joyum. I am a graduate from the Harvard Chan School of Public Health with a doctorate in public health. I've worked also extensively in brain health. So I joined the Hungry app because sharing is also helpful for connectivity, is helpful for mental health, for brain health. So in that angle, I'm really working with the Hungry app to help them understand that beyond food insecurity, beyond like food waste, the app they have is actually a tool to connect people. It's a tool to reduce isolation and mental health issues. So I'm here to guide them in that process. And hopefully, we together will make sharing simple around our faith-based communities. And thank you so much for everything you do in the faith-based world. And thank you for everything today. I'll be off camera as I'm gonna be, but I'm here with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tegwa and Peter, and I appreciate a lot of the time you've given to supporting this project. Dr. Tegwa mentioned a phrase, sharing made simple, or making sharing simple, and that is not just a motto to us, it's an operating system. It's truly the essence of what we are trying to do here. I will give a little background of myself as I load the app here. This is just your initial screen when you get to the app. So if everyone can go to thehungreeapp.com, that is THEHUNGREEAPP.com. THEHUNGREEAPP.com. There's a download button right at the top. If you just download that, whether it's available on Android and Apple's iOS stores, and you can download it. This is the first screen you see. And you can easily sign in with a phone number. And you'd get a code here. And you're in the application. Now, why did we make this in the first place? I was born in Nigeria, and I grew up with parents who really loved education and taught a lot of, father was a computer programmer and taught, the value of working hard. And more importantly, the examples of sharing. I remember when we didn't have enough water. The community didn't have enough water. We had a water well in our house, and we didn't always have electricity. We would have it gone most of the year, and every couple months, we might have like a week, 2 weeks long, and then it's gone again. But when we did have enough power and voltage in our house, we would run pumps and send water to the tanks. And because we had that excess resource, we would run a hose all the way to the front and actually feed the community. And I tell you what, if somebody was trying to rob us, the community would step in. And that's where we came from. That's how humans came from. And graduated, moved over into the United States, went to school here in Colorado, went to college here in Colorado at Colorado School of Mines, did electrical engineering, graduated, worked for Peter Kiewit and Sons out here, especially when they were building out T-Rex way back, and went back for more pain, I like to say, for petroleum engineering, and did a lot of work from numerical simulation in Saudi Arabia as a consultant for Saudi Aramco, to running rigs in South Texas, to currently an expert witness for petroleum engineering cases, protecting the rights of Native Americans and their mineral rights in North Dakota. And all that is to say, I love solving problems, but I love food. I love cooking, and if I were to have a ministry it would be the food and music ministry. And I realized from stories personal to me where I was digging in a couch for change at Colorado School of Mines to make up $1.08 so I can go down to the fast food joint and down the street from my house, I was thinking there is pizza, there is a sandwich, there is a burger, there's lasagna that someone has made nearby. There is after an event, after a lunch and learn, after a potluck, at a food pantry, after a wedding, whatever it is, or even in the cafeteria is excess. But I just don't have access to it. And we realize food insecurity, food waste as well, is not so much just a thrifting or charity problem. It is a logistical distribution problem. We need to be able to help people share. HungreeApp is sharing made simple for this reason. So for those of you on the call, I would like to ask if you've had the opportunity to download the application. If you can just do a show of hands on the Zoom call. Excellent, Martha. Thank you very much. When you go into the application, I want you to go in as Hungree. So I want you to tap this little Hungree button, and then you can tap continue. And once you do that, there's an onboarding screen. You don't see it for me because I've done it already on this device, but there's an onboarding screen, and you will arrive at this page that says patience, goodness is on the way. Now, I would like for everyone to tap the filter, and this is where you can select preferences of what you like based on what's available. And I would like for you to choose in the section where it says, how far can you travel? I'd like for you to choose over 10 miles, just to make sure that I am able to connect with those who are participating on the call today. Just for your view, before I click apply for further information, for those who are also seeing this later on, you can select certified provider preferences and village preferences as well in this filter, which we'll talk about what a certified provider is and what a village is. But you can see that also in this filter. So I'm going to click apply, and on your screen you should have a tag at the upper left corner that says over 10 miles and patience, goodness is on the way. Additionally, I'd like for you to go to your menu, and at the bottom, I want you to see the rules and guidelines. The rules and guidelines show what the engagement code of conduct is for this platform. You can click expand all and get a little more information, and this is something you can read additionally at your own time. I'd like to say that a lot of the work has been done to just reduce all the legalese into just simple plain English, and that's what this rules and guidelines is. But for further information, you can obviously go through all of the technical, privacy policy, terms of conditions, end user license agreement, disclaimer, and the acceptable use policy. Another thing I'd like for you to do is look at my screen for now, just to make sure we can follow along a little bit faster. We're going to look at this change language button. It was important that as we created a platform that allows everyone to share, we made it available in over 60 languages. Truly, any human being on planet Earth with a smartphone has full access to be able to share with their neighbor. And so at this point, I'll explain the basic concept of what the app does. If you notice, I am in Hungree mode. And when we started the app, it asks you, what do you want to do today? It's not a thrifting platform so much as it is a sharing platform. It says, are you a provider or hungry? Do you want to give an item or do you want to receive an item? Those are what those two modes are. If you say you want to give an item, as we have as an example here, a jar of tomato sauce, as you want to give an item, it creates a listing and pings anybody around you that has the application. As soon as the person around you sees it, they don't get the exact location. Why? Well, I don't want 100 people showing up for just one of this. It's just the one. So as soon as I say I want to give this item, it pings anyone around with the application. And they say, there is something 645 feet from you. There's something 2.2 miles from you. So and so, such and such distance from you. And everyone has an opportunity to place a request. As soon as they place a request and I accept it, it then connects myself and the other person and disappears for everybody else. Those requests are no longer available. The item is no longer available for the other folks. It's an organized way of distributing extra leftovers after a potluck or an event, or from restaurants, or what you cook, or between neighbors, gardening communities, so on and so forth. College campuses as well. So a food bank, for example, can receive items on the app in Hungree mode, say after a giant event, and turn around in provider mode and give it right back out. Now, another thing I'd like to point out, When you're engaging on a platform, if you don't want just anybody around to get access to that item, say you are in a gated community and you said, I only want those in my gated community to have this. I just want me and my friends to have this. I just want this to be for the students of this university campus because this item is being shared on campus. You can create what we call villages, nostalgic to our human roots, right? We operated in villages, in concentric circles of villages, and held each other's back and made it strong. So you can operate in a village and say, I will create a village. So for example, there is if I look at my villages over here, I go to villages and click on my villages. I have a village called J. Atkinstown. It's just me and my friends. It's my private space. So big families, large families, the church community, your church can create a village, and now you've created a safety, sharing, trusted circle for your church community. You can also have invite codes to join your village. So I created a village in here and it's called J. Atkins. I can tap this little share button and it creates a QR code to join the village. So I'm going to pick on you, Martha. You have the app. If you look on your phone, there is a black button at the bottom. Oh, okay. So continue, sorry. You're on mute, sorry.
Sorry, I am stuck on the patient's page. How did you get to menu?
Oh, if it was just at the bottom right.
On patients or on filters?
Once you see a page that says patient's goodness is on the way, so I'm just going to back out. That's a good. So you're right here, right?
Yes.
So on the bottom right, do you see menu?
No.
Okay, did you press skip when you signed into the app without creating an account?
I don't think, well, okay, I've not created an account. Where was that?
Okay. No problem.
That's my phone number. Got that. Okay. Let me back
Excellent.
up.
Excellent point.
Yeah, John. So while she's doing that, just remind those who will listen later that they will have to, add an account just because we need to know who is sharing and how the sharing is. That's why we request those information.
Correct. So
we don't share anything with anyone. It's just to make sharing easy.
Correct. And it helps you keep track of everything you received or given out on the platform as well when you do it with your account there. So what we allow you to do in essence is share with anyone nearby, share with those around you. They get to see the distance. They get to make a decision of how far they can travel. We've had people go, over 10 miles for giant trays of food or just 150 feet for an extra sandwich on the platform. So that's the power of the technology we created here. And as well, allowing you to share it with anyone around you or within a trusted sharing circle called a village. Now, moving forward, I would like to point out that if I look at my villages that I'm a part of, one of the villages here is the Food Banks and Pantries Village. This allows for you to actually engage only with a food bank or pantry in your area. So churches, food banks, church pantries can go ahead and join this village. And once you're part of this village, as a food pantry, you might be able to get access to a grocery store or a big event, getting rid of a lot of items that you can receive on the platform here in Hungree mode, and turn around with the slider and just go into provider mode or restart in the application or tap in any of the red ribbons on the screen to be able to switch modes to provider mode and give those items and distribute it right back out into your community. So imagine if a food pantry can receive 20 boxes of provisions from the Colorado Convention Center after an event, and then being able to turn right back around and distribute it within their neighborhood. So that's the power of being able to switch modes. So I am going to go ahead and create a list in here. And the first step, I can click this plus button, and it gives me a quick reminder of several things that I have given out. So I've given a dozen eggs a couple times. There was a Benihana hibachi rice that was extra that I gave out. I have a brand new entry here. It's none of those, so I can click on that. It also says where can they pick up the food? So it can be at my office where I'm at, or it could be down the street. I can say, you know what, I would want you to meet you right here at this corner. This is the location. And then I click continue. And then I've got to describe this. So this is good old American tomato sauce. And I'm going to say classic meats is the flavor. And because it says that, I'm not going to say it's vegetarian, even though it is just tomato sauce, but it's got the flavors there. So I'll just leave that non-vegetarian on. And I can put extra information to describe the item. So as you can see on the screen, there's a box for optional information. I select the source. This was bought at a store, and I can select a village. So this is where I could say, here's a lucky village. This is just my church's village. I am sharing within my church community. I am sharing within my HOA. I am sharing within my group of friends in a village that we created. I am sharing within this university campus, this group of students at a campus, because the university could create a village. So in this case, I am not going to choose a village. Well, what does that mean? It's going to say, heads up, it's a public listing. All right, no problem. Yes, continue. How long do they have the latest pickup time? So the latest pickup time, I'm going to say, is 3 p.m. for this listing, right? I've got some things to do at 4, so I'm going to say it's 3 p.m. Now, I am going to say cooking required. This is tomato sauce. It's something you'd use for cooking. It is actually also sealed and unopened, and very soon you'll be able to actually select multiple options on the next update. And as well, how many servings am I offering today? Well, it's just the one that I want to give out. So I'm just going to say 1. At the bottom of the screen here, you can see where it allows me to add additional information. So let's check that out. Here's where I can say, bring a bag, bring a container. What's the weight? So I can keep track of a lot of metrics and information on how much stuff I have saved from the landfills, for example, throughout the course of the year, right? If this was something that was going to go to waste, what was the pound? So this is about 2 pounds. And what's the value? This could be very useful for keeping record of your donations for your church, if your church wants to match the value of your donation, reimbursement programs, or for taxes as well. Continue. Now, at this point, I am required to take a picture. This is my way of showing the world this is exactly what I have to offer. So I am going to move the camera over this way. If you do notice, you cannot select from your gallery. We want to make sure that people understand that this is this item as of this point in time. And also, it has an expiration date. So I'll take a picture of that. That is helpful. And just for extra good measure, I'll take a picture of the nutritional label as well. Now, I'm only required to take 1 picture of the item to be able to show the world what I'm offering. But I took 3 pictures right there, and I can click continue. Now, we do our best to offer information of any allergies that may be included in our offering. I want you to know that engaging on this platform is the tightest and most secure legal protection you can have for distributing any items. For example, in the state of Colorado, we worked with representatives who actually reached out to the HungreeApp saying, we need help on our edible food waste bill. And we worked with them to pass a law this year in Colorado that actually indemnifies everyone, which I'll show you in a moment, from donating food all the way up till illness or death. It is our way of making sure people are protected and feel safe to be able to offer help. And a lot of times in our world today, we want to be able to offer help and we can't. But with the HungreeApp, you know that your sharing is not just secure, but it's legally safe and protected. Now, as a good measure, I can select different allergies that I think may be included in this item. I do not see anything on here that would be considered an allergy with tomato sauce, so I'm just going to move forward here. And that is it. I will go backwards here to the beginning to just give you a summary of what we did. The first step was select a location for the pickup. The second step was to describe the items. I can choose a village here if I want for a closed sharing community. I'm not going to. Heads up, it's a public listing. I can say yes. I choose how long I'm available till, and I said 3 p.m. I can choose the condition of the meal, how many servings, and put any additional information, or skip the additional information altogether if I want. I take a picture of it. In this case, I took 3. I specify any allergies that may be available or included in this item, in this case, none. And I say offer it. That simply is as simple as ordering an Uber. It's as simple as ordering an Uber. And you go ahead and you list the items. Now, what is going to happen to everyone on this call, you can see it. And if you're watching this later, I hope we have a few people on this call that can keep us honest and show me what just popped up on your phone. Martha and Linda, I'm not sure if you're able to see. Oh, excellent. With Adrian, he's able to see it. Oh, right there. Excellent. So you see that little color on his screen? That is the item. It's popped up on his phone. And Adrian, if you don't mind just sharing that you see if you can see the location or not. You shouldn't be able to see a location, but you see a distance. It will say, hey, this is X miles from you.
Let's see.
On the main page of the item. And Martha, I don't know if you're on the home screen.
I finally got in. I have an account.
Excellent.
I know I've got location on. How did you get from looking at
Go to your
apply the
filter.
filters to?
Go to your filter to over 10 miles.
It is.
And then click.
All right, let me get back to that page again. Yeah, I have over 10 miles. Meat doesn't bother me. I just clicked African and Indian just for something. What am I missing?
So don't choose any cuisine filters because you just excluded.
Okay. Do I have to pick a village?
No, just the
Okay.
over 10 miles, and you click apply. And then Linda, I don't know if you're able to follow along as well.
Oh, there's tomato sauce.
Oh, right there. If you can show it to the screen, right there, it just pops up on your screen and says, so you over-filtered yourself away from the tomato sauce.
Got it.
But you can obviously specify, because if this tomato sauce had something in it, for example, had shellfish in it, and it had tomato sauce with shrimp, you could go to your filter and say, I don't eat shrimp, because I specified that, and then it wouldn't pop up on your screen. So now, if you notice, it says exactly how many miles away it is. right?
Right.
And it says all the information you need to make a decision on whether or not you want this tomato sauce. Simple. And so I would like for you to tap that tomato sauce, please.
Okay.
And if you scroll to the bottom, it just says get meal or get the item.
Okay.
And you can press skip on the extra profile information right there. You can just press skip.
Okay.
And what does that do? It creates a request, right? So I can click here and see all the people that were looking at this. Well, I don't get to see the people's information, but I see that 3 people looked at this. And if you click get meal and you click skip to place a request, and this is just my view that I'm showing here for this item. And I can review any collection requests that I have on the platform. And I have a request. Now, if you notice, I don't know exactly who it is. Now, I can probably guess, wink, wink, based on who's on this call, but I don't know who it is, technically. So I have one request. Martha, I was wondering if you don't mind placing a request. Okay, I've got 2 requests. Now, what does this do? It gives me an availability to, okay, now the requests are coming in. We're getting excited here. Now we're cooking. And I've got a request, and people around me will actually see this item. This is something that's working in Denver right now. But I am going to accept this middle one, just randomly guessing. And if I approve that request, I can't approve the others. Why? Can we guess why, Martha? I
Well, you
said
don't want all 3 of us showing up.
thank you very much. And I only said there was 1 available. If I said there were 2 available, then it would leave at least an option for me to accept some of the other requests, which is pretty cool. But what has happened, Martha, if you don't mind telling the folks, a green button should have popped up on your screen.
Where do I need to go with this?
And that's telling you that your request has been accepted.
Right.
Excellent.
Does that show?
Excellent. Well, yes, we can see the message. And so if you don't mind, Martha, tap in that, and then you will see you can navigate to me. So what has happened now is Martha now has access and information to navigate her way to meet me to pick up this tomato paste. Meanwhile, nobody else does. So exactly, that green button just popped up. Excellent. So you just tap that. Martha's rolling and cooking here. And when you grab it, a map should appear.
Yep.
Yep, and that map, at the bottom of that map is a button that says enter pickup. Excellent. So now you've got the map, and it's got the red dot, and it navigates you to come and grab it. But let's assume you're in front of me. Let's assume you're in front of me. Let's assume you have arrived. I would want you to enter pickup code. So at the bottom it says enter pickup code. Now this is something Martha would get, Linda and the others listening, once she arrives in front of me. So let's assume she's actually in my face. She would be able to say, okay, I am here. I would like to grab the item. What is the pickup code? Which you can see on my screen. I'm showing you 5512. 5512. And I can tell Martha enter that pickup code. That's the way the system knows that we actually met. So we pretend met on this call here in this demo, but I give you that. The system knows that. I can click on past. It shows me a list of the past items I have donated, from tomato sauce to eggs to that hibachi rice that you saw. And for Martha, it is also giving you a list of your past collections, if you see that. Right? And the tomato sauce is right there. So imagine if the church could easily distribute items after a potluck to the neighborhood around them, easily distribute items within the church community, creating a village for your church and being able to share within your village. I mentioned and I promised to show you one thing. If you type on your phone HB 1166 on a Google search, and we'll just focus on my phone for now. HB 1166. It's a law that was passed in Colorado. And this is the summary of the law. The act also clarifies that the immunity from liability applies regardless of whether the donated food is alleged to have caused illness or death. The act also clarifies that the immunity from liability applies regardless of whether the donated food is alleged to have caused illness or death. The HungreeApp is the easiest, most organized logistical platform to distribute items, receiving and giving. The disaster relief community actually tapped the HungreeApp when there were fires in Colorado, saying, look, this is the best way to help farmers and get things out there and see what people need. But you don't want a nursing mother hiking all the way to a distribution point just to get a box of potatoes and canned vegetables when there's powdered formula the other way. The HungreeApp manages that distribution and allows it to be decentralized so people can step in and actually help the way they need to help, which is really a calling. And we're helping enhance this by making sharing simple for everyone on earth. Now, what you have seen on this demonstration so far is provider mode and hungry mode, the giving mode and the receiving mode. We are introducing one more mode, our next mode on there, called donor mode. In donor mode, you will be able to sponsor meals directly with 100% transparency for the items you are giving or you're sponsoring. For example, if I wanted to help a community in Denver, Colorado after a fire, after a flood, anywhere in the world, I will be able to go on to Denver, Colorado, see what restaurants are nearby offering items for sale even, and then pay for that item. So I could buy 30 pizzas or buy 10 sandwiches at Jimmy John's. And what then happens is a listing gets triggered at that Jimmy John's, and automatically Hungree's around can pick up that listing. I can also target it for churches. So during Christmas, I could be on vacation over in Sweden and then know that my church in Denver, Colorado, I want to support that church community. Maybe there was something that happened with some of the members and they created a village. So I can go on in donor mode and I'll be able to say, let me buy 40 sandwiches from this restaurant, and it would trigger the listing, but I can say those sandwiches are directed for my church's village, Church ABC, University XYZ, supporting students, supporting humans from across the world, from anywhere. And the reverse can happen. This is something I'm really excited about because there's several churches in Nigeria that I like to support. And it is so easy for me to say during the Christmas period for me to be able to say, I am going to buy 20 meals of $2 each. That's $40 in meals. And I want it to support my grandmother's local church in Nigeria. And they get those access to those meals. And I see the full transparency of the $40 I spent. It doesn't go to an organization where 50% of it kind of goes somewhere and just sunk in and I don't know what happened. I see it very transparently. And as you saw on the map that Martha showed, I can see folks are actually coming and converging to that pickup point to make sure they can give out those items. The HungreeApp has had the opportunity to be announced even at the Clinton Global Initiative as top 10 projects out of over 1,215 projects worldwide. It has been on 9 News. It has been on the Denver Post. But what is more important is something that I will show you here. This is us looking into our platform. And I was just looking on the back panel and I noticed some tamales that were shared. But this was a conversation that occurred between two individuals on this platform. This says 14 hours ago when I took this video, but this was about 10 days ago here in Denver, Colorado. Are they going to be free? Yes, of course. One more question. How many is it? I only ask because it's me and my 6 kids. There's 20. Oh, I'm on my way. That is the power of what we've done. The HungreeApp is not just a technology, it's a movement. It is a way that an individual in Denver, Colorado was able to share 20 tamales that probably would have otherwise ended up in the trash can with a neighbor around them who just happened to be a mother that says, I've got 6 kids to feed. And they don't have to be her 6 kids. It could be she's taking care of her sister's kids and everyone. But in that house that day, there were 6 individuals plus 6 children plus that adult and maybe more that got access and connected with somebody else randomly who had 20 tamales to share and did it with a smiley face and joy in their heart. That was good. That was, I wanted to say chicken soup for the soul, but that was tamales for the soul for both of those individuals in that transaction. It fed both of them. The calories went to one, but the joy was shared between both of them. We talk about helping. We like to talk about it a lot. We want to help. We're looking for ways to do it. If you're engaged on the HungreeApp platform, it is the easiest way you can help a neighbor. That is a true calling. That's the true spirit of Jesus' calling in our lives, is to be our neighbor's keeper, our brothers, our sisters' keeper. And that's what this does. It's the action of being a friend to those around you. And then what we just did with our public policy and public health and engineering brains is create a way for you to be able to make it easy. But those feelings, that action is innate. It is intrinsic between who we are as human beings. Thank you very much. There's a lot more we can go into on this, but I'd like to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? So I have a question. So
Yep.
let's just say that a church wanted to sign up for this app. It would have to be an individual in that church who would be the point person, right? There's really no way for an institution to sign up and have multiple people access that.
That's a good point. Let me share my screen one more time. So, yes, as with, even when Microsoft signs up for something, there's still a human that made the action.
Yeah.
So, right? So, on the platform, if you go to your menu and you go to villages, there's a white button at the bottom right corner. You can tap that and click, say plus, and create a village. Now, when you do have a village, for example, here is a village. And Martha, I don't know if you see that black button at the bottom of your screen. There's a round black button. It's a QR scanner. I'm trying to grow my village. It's a competition between me and all the friends on the app. So, and I cook pretty good meals. So Martha, if I list and I listed just my village, you'll be able to have access there. Okay, very easily. That's how easily it was for Martha to join my village. So you can see all the folks in my village, and Martha is one of them. You're part of my sharing circle. But to answer your question, Adrian, now that I have a village, I can now make Martha a manager of that village. So yes, a point person in the church can create the village, And then as everyone joins, the point person says, okay, there are 5 or 6 managers of this village. And what happens, Martha is not able to see some of these other options. So, for example, I have a crown there because I am a manager in that village. I own that village. Here's a village where I am not a manager or the owner of. This is all Martha would see in that village for me, for example. But if I made her a manager, then she would see all those extra buttons. She can create invite codes. She can manage the access to the village and manage members. So you can have those admins as well.
Please
Gotcha.
don't do that right now, John, as I am already on overload.
Oh, no, no worries, no worries. Your only job in my village is to collect delicious Nigerian food, including jollof rice. So
Gotcha.
that's
Which I
your
have
only
not
job.
ever had. Looking forward to it.
Oh, I will make sure that that happens. And in fact, there are times, when a lot of times when I'm sharing, I just share publicly. I don't choose a village because I want people to be able to get nutrition. And you'll be amazed at the different things that has happened on our platform. I know I mentioned one example here. If I look at photos, there's another example here where I share this with my team. I should have tried to block the name on that first video now that I think about the recorded, but it doesn't have any address or phone number information. But this was a conversation with me and somebody else on the platform, picking up food from me. Heading over, I'm leaving my house by 7. But that last comment they made touched me. I mean, these are real conversations on the app. Thank you so much. This is going to help my family so much. We have so many people that are engaging on this platform just through word of mouth. We've done zero marketing. We've not necessarily done all this advertising. We've looked for support for this project, but from folks with word of mouth are able to engage to the tune of 20 tamales going into a single parent or a parent who says they needed help. So I have another hand raised. I'm trying to see who it is. Or it did it for me because of the auto AI thing here. Linda?
Yes, I'm not super techie, but I'm connected with people who can figure this out. So I got as far as creating a meal listing, and I'm going down that. Can you go over quickly again? How do you set up a village?
Excellent.
I'm
So,
down here with who's the lucky village, and
okay,
then I don't know what to do. Yeah.
no problem. You can continue the meal listing without choosing a village, though, right? Just remember that. You don't always have to choose a village. You can list to anybody. You can say, I just want to offer this tomato sauce to whoever is around.
Right. And that's what I don't know how to do.
Okay, so you don't select a village. That's an optional. So it says optional. Do you want to select it? Just click continue.
Okay, just hit continue. Okay, I'm there. Okay, I hit it.
And it brings you to the next page to keep describing the item.
Okay, to meal condition, what's the latest pickup time? Although what option would, how many servings and so forth and so on. Okay, so that's information. And then allow it to take pictures. Yes, I'll hit while using the app. Click to open the camera. Okay, I understand that. I still don't know where I go to create a village here because now I have to click to open a camera. So how do I?
So to create a village, it's not during the meal listing process. So what you did, just for those watching the video later, what she did was click plus, and she's continuing with the process of creating a listing.
Right.
Linda,
Right.
if you don't mind pressing and holding that arrow at the upper left.
Okay, I'm way ahead here. So
No,
okay.
there's an arrow at the upper left.
I just have this. I'm on the very first. Sorry, I'm on the address
Oh,
now.
no problem. You're right here.
Yeah, I was at the very beginning, and now
So,
cuisine, and I'm hitting American, and
but
so I'm this page.
before you hold a quick moment, Miss Linda,
Okay, I'm right there.
in the upper left, there's an arrow, a
It,
back
but
arrow.
it goes to create a meal listing.
And then keep pressing that till you get to heads up.
I got it. Yep, I got
And
it.
then say yes.
Yes.
So now we've backed out of that. Now I want you to go to menu in the bottom right.
Bottom right. Gotcha.
I want you to tap villages.
Villages. Okay.
And in the bottom right, there is a plus button.
There's a what button?
Plus button, a white plus button in the bottom right.
Okay, at the very bottom right.
It's a circle with a red plus in the middle.
Here.
If you look at the screen, look at the bottom right on the screen, the circle with the big plus in it. Yeah, he's highly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Plus. Okay.
And that's how you would create a village.
Gotcha. Okay. All righty. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome.
It's a wonderful idea. And I'm probably not the one who should be watching this, but but I will pass this on.
Please. Just remember
the people who are a little more fluent and so forth. And because it sounds wonderful. We have this situation all the time when we work with homeless shelters and things. We'll have an event at church and we'll have lots of leftovers and we want to give those leftovers somewhere. And so that happens a lot in our church. So this will be very helpful. I will take this back and we'll work with it.
Excellent.
And that's why we're going to have this on our YouTube video. So you'll have a link and it'll make it very easy.
Okay.
People can go and watch the video and then they can follow up directly with the HungreeApp folks for more info.
Great.
Right. You can email info@thehungreeapp.com. And that would be that'd be lovely. We'll be very excited to engage. This is what the logo looks like. Just so you know what the name looks like and what you're downloading, make sure you get the right one. As I said, and I'll click around the screen here to show you a couple more things. For example, here is a state representative in Georgia who has just created a village, and he's now going to slowly get all restaurants and the neighborhood in his district so they can share. So this goes all the way from individuals to church to even government, where they can help the communities. We always want ways that we can help each other, but we don't have the means to do it as easily and as conveniently as we can. And we always like to say, if everybody in the world had the HungreeApp, nothing would end up in the trash, truly. There is always somebody near me, whether my neighbor or friend or a stranger, somebody near me could use this tomato sauce. I am not going to cook with it tonight. I will put it in my fridge. It does have a long expiration date, but the truth is, if I were to toss this because I don't want to use it, that'd be wrong. But what the HungreeApp did, without Martha and I having each other's phone numbers, allowed for me to 30 seconds, 60 seconds, create this list that boop, boop, pops up. And now it pops up on anyone's phones who wants it. And then they get items that they could use. And if you have enough items, say your belly is full, your coffers are full, you can go to your preferences and manage notifications and say, you know what, don't show me anything for the next week. I'm okay. I don't want to know. You can go in the app and see it, but you won't get any push notifications for anything like that, right? So you can quiet it, right? But imagine all the college students during the holidays, and they don't have a chance to get to go back to their families. And if the college had villages, and all the colleges had villages, or the churches had villages, you could say, you know what, it's the holidays. I just want to share within this village. I want to support them. When we're done with donor mode, which is going to be a very powerful weapon to mitigate food insecurity anywhere in the world, you can support communities remotely, but with intent, transparency, clarity. That's what the HungreeApp is. Any more questions?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I'm trying to bounce back and forth between pages to get used to navigating it.
Yes.
And I went to Hungree mode,
Okay.
and I've got your town listed, and I'm looking at the meal collections page,
Ah, yes.
and it says you have no active listings. Click plus to change that. I don't see plus.
So
I
I
did
will.
one time, but I can't, I don't find it now.
Okay, so can you click? It's hard to see on there. I want to do to keep the recording clean.
Yeah.
What I will do, I don't know, Adrian, is it possible for me to stay on the call um,
Yeah.
a little longer so I can work with Martha and see her screen a little bit more after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
recording is complete? Okay. Any more questions on the concept so Adrian can cleanly press cut?
All right. Well, if there are no more questions, again, thank you for joining this. I think this is a powerful tool. I think this can be transformational for a lot of churches with food ministries, meal ministries. And so I was just really eager to share this opportunity with our churches, and it's about getting the word out. So please
Yes.
pass this along. It's going to be a ripple effect. So thank you, AJ Peter, for all you do in sharing this with us. Thank you for the blessing that this is. We're so pleased that God put this in your hearts and minds and gave you the skill to put this out in the world. So
Thank
this
you.
will be available on the Colorado Council of Churches YouTube channel. So thank you for joining us. Next month, we will have a lunch and learn on how to lobby at the state capitol as part of our Voices for Justice team. So please, you'll get information about that in the next newsletter. So thank you so much. Blessings to everyone.